Friends, welcome back to Counterfeit Kit Challenge. This is fun because it's stretching my creative inspiration abilities. So this is beautiful. I have this Creative Imaginations paper, and I mean, gorgeous coming and going. But I'm usually a lot more into the graphic paper, bold. I mean, I've got, llamas eating a taco kind of thing, right? So what we're going to work on today for the challenge is February 12th, and the challenge number 1 is to scrap a page about a matriarch, past or present, in your family using a floral paper or a theme. So I'm looking at this paper. So I put my kit together actually before I knew about the challenge, so it's fun to see what will work and all that kind of thing. So I'm starting here, and there are some floral elements on it. That works. The Prima papers, or the embellishments I should say, have a lot of florals, but I'm liking the idea of sticking more to these muted kind of florals. This is super bright, so I don't think that's going to work for what I have, so I'm going to take that away from my mind, I guess, or away from my visual area here. And from these word sticker pieces, it will be the ones that are more subdued, a little bit more prettified. I do have this whole sticker book here by Jen Hadfield. That's part of my kit. And look at how great that is for this kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and look for things that are a little bit more subtle, I guess, like prettier. Like that would work because it's kind of a family tree thing that I'm going to work on. So I'm going to be going a little bit more of the pretty, subtle kind of things for Prima. I have these 2 pieces of paper I'm also thinking of bringing in. We've got, a lot of the blues, but I like the more quiet distress pieces. And I may be matting my photo in this piece right here. So with that in mind, the photos I'm going to be using this is a set of 2 photos that I took from this rather old album I have. And these pictures are of my Grandma Al, my mother's mother. And she was born in the 20s. So this is definitely, in the past. And she's passed away now too. And looking at her, she looks like she's around age 2 here. And yeah, it's funny, she looks a lot like my mother in those pictures. My mother ended up having a very similar haircut at this age that my grandmother gave her. So very interesting, so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. I wanted to just explain what my thought process was, and I'll take you along with me and we'll see where we go with this. All right, here we go, friends. Went ahead and trimmed my photo down, and now I'm going to make some of those big decisions here. I want to map my photo on that black with slightly off-white polka dot paper to kind of give it, I guess, a pop off the page. Now the funny thing is, when I was crafting with this, I was dealing with the consideration that my Grandma Al, person in the photo, actually hated the color black, and I was like, ugh. Gosh, I can imagine what she'd say. She would sit there with this voice she had, and she'd be going, ew, you're doing black. Is it a funeral? What are you doing? And carrying on like that. But she is not the boss of me in this situation. She was the boss of me. But in this situation, she is not. So I'm going to add a little black, but try not to go too heavy with it, just because, yeah, I would get in trouble for it. So now I'm auditioning the little bits and pieces that are in this 4x6 little iris case to see what might work. Now, when I'm auditioning, it doesn't mean all of those pieces will be making it onto this layout. These are just possibilities, and then I like to put the rest away. I like to get pieces brought onto my workspace and then also get rid of things that I don't think I'm going to use. Oh, and real quick, sorry about that pink cord that is in the upper left of my video screen. I did not see it when I was filming, and it's irritating me a little bit. So sorry about that. Now I'm going to spend a little bit of time inking in the edges to give them just a little bit of separation off the back of the page as well. And the ink color I'm going to be using, it's a Simon Hurley ink pad, and it is in the color called Woof. I had this handy dandy little craft I don't know, paper ribbon piece. I guess you would call it that. I don't even know. Anywho, I'm going to use that to be kind of the shelf on my whole layout. I also had in that little bin that great little tag already came with the string, so I didn't have to add that. And I did go ahead and put in just a couple of pocket cards in with this kit. The inspiration piece had a large pocket card kind of a theme, so I added a little bit in, not a lot. And the reason why I added just a little bit is I felt like being successful with using some up. I'm going to go ahead also and use this gorgeous Studio Calico garland, and it's already stitched. I didn't do that. And just add kind of like a little garland piece on the bottom. And one of the coolest things about making our own kits is I would have never gone and grabbed the garland for this layout. I'm going to add one more little piece in. I was kind of doing like little strings of 5 and I needed one more. So I'll go ahead and Frankenstein that in together and only you and I will know. Anywho, so I was saying that that is one of the cool things about making your own kits is that I wouldn't have done this, but I really like the effect of it. So yay for having our own scrappy kits, friends. Now the rest of the layout is fairly simple. This is the whole base of the layout what I've done here. I have some inky edges. I've got these little birds, and birds remind me of my grandmother as well. She could whistle just like a songbird, and I can't whistle. It's a tragic thing when I do. So it sounded absolutely beautiful when she would whistle, and she could do all kinds of songs and all that kind of stuff. So that's one of those other things that's great when you're doing a heritage scrapbooking. Like most people wouldn't know that when you look at these pictures, but I do just from personal experience. Now I have this set of I had two little rub-ons on the upper part of my desk, and these were not in my kit. A lot of you know that I'm in a quest to kill off some of my ever so vintage rub-ons, and there was two up there. I'm like, these are absolutely perfect for a heritage layout. So I'm going to spend a second rubbing them on in two places. They come off beautifully. I could not believe how well they rubbed off. They've got to be at least 10 years old, so they're a win, and I think they added a lot to the layout. You know how rub-ons have that slight sheen to them? So it gave me a little bit of a different kind of a dimensional thing on this layout. So I have this handy dandy little set of these American Crafts canvas flowers, and they have little gems in them. I did try to peel off that yellowy colored gem just because it has nothing to do with my layout, but it was determined to stay right where it was, so that's fine. And these are adding this really great textural element, that nubby fabric. And then I have the gems, the wood veneer, I have chipboard going, craft stuff. So as things go, this is a super simple layout, but it has a lot of kind of cool stuff to look at. I have these little felt flowers that were also part of that little photo box kit, and I think those were from Freckled Fawn, like from a few years back in like a warehouse sale. So who knows how old those bad boys are. I included just a little bit of this washi tape. It's really close to the same color as those felt pieces, so that's putting that deep mulberry color around in a few places. And oh, and for those of you who are new to my channel, yes, that is a loud snoring dog. He is about 2 feet from me, and he loves when it is time to do voiceovers. He jumps next to me and crashes right out. He is a short, stout English bulldog. His name is Mason. Okay, back to scrapbooking. These little birdies, they are almost too clean for me. So at some point coming up, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of ink on them just to grunge them up a tiny bit. I had some glitter black sticker alphas, and I went ahead and put my grandmother's name down, as well as there was a little heart that was on that sticker sheet as well, and I put it by the bird. I was trying to kind of make it look like the bird had it in its mouth, if that makes any sense. Now I want to look and see if I can use any of these pretty little Prima stickers. I'm going to muck up, ink up the sides just a little bit to give them a slightly more of a vintage feel and get a couple of nice little sentiments on there. So next I went into my little Jen Hadfield sticker book, and I'm telling you, I have a stack of these things that I had to have when they hit Tuesday morning, and I think that rub-ons and these sticker books are going to be my big concentration for quite a while. I found this one that looks a little bit like wood and ink the edges, and I thought I'd put it in the middle of um, my little pocket 3x4 pocket page little square there, rectangle. All right, so this bin right here, I have gems, pearls, and sequins in there, and it pearls felt right for a heritage kind of a photo, so I thought I'd put it there. They don't particularly remind me of my grandmother. I do have her pearls though, but very nice for a heritage kind of a layout. They're a nice soft kind of gem alternative. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put some of these cute little black gems on. Those are from the Walmart craft aisle, and I like them because they're really, really faceted. So it's a good way to get a little tiny bit of black on your page and also a bit of dimension. I'm looking through right now, seeing if any of my sequins might work for this, but that would be a no. They're a little bit too vivid for this. So I'm going to go ahead and find just a couple of enamel dots to finish this part of the layout off. I don't even know where I got these from because I do not have the packaging any longer, but the color is working ever so nicely. It's a tone of the mulberry color that is in that kit, and yeah, it reminds me of my grandmother. Actually, she had a really great color of eyes. They were a blue gray, and she had very, very dark brown hair. So it's a nice, attractive combination. She used to call it Black Irish. I have no idea if it is. Anywho, I decided to go ahead and ink the outside edges, give it just a little bit more of an inclusion kind of a feel to bring your eye into the photo. And I told you I wanted to add just a little bit of ink to my little birdies. They were just a tiny bit too clean. So went ahead and did that. I'm trying to use my Aleene's tacky glue to glue down some of my little canvas pieces. Here's a nice close-up, and I'll leave links down below for the Counterfeit Kit Challenge Facebook page as well as the blog. So that's it for today, friends. I'll see you guys ever so soon. Bye-bye now.